All right, Apple Boy WNY, it's Monday evening, 7 p.m., March 29th. We got some people joining in on Instagram, a few more coming in on Facebook. Tonight we are going to reveal the champion of the Apple Variety March Madness. It was in the last week Honeycrisp against Snapdragon. We'll wait for a few more people to get on here. If you want to drop some comments in the chat box, if you want to do that. And then we'll get rolling along. So like I said, it was Honeycrisp against Snapdragon this week. And it was a close match, and it was very surprising. Honeycrisp is a very well-known variety and a very new variety, Snapdragon. I gave you a little history on the last video on Snapdragon, on kind of when it was developed and how it's come along. And it turned out the vote was pretty good. Can you drop me a comment, or it won't let you on Facebook? So with that, we're going to get into it. It was Snapdragon against Honeycrisp, and Snapdragon won the Apple Variety March Madness Championship. We had 56 people participate in the last week, and Snapdragon had 32 votes and Honeycrisp had 24. So Snapdragon again is the winner. I was a little nervous and wasn't quite sure when I was starting to tally up the votes. I started on Instagram, and a lot of the Instagram votes were Honeycrisp. And then when I went over to the Facebook votes, a lot more people were over there voting for Snapdragon. So Honeycrisp was leading when I started to do the vote, and then as we took off, Snapdragon took on over. You can see Bruno's here enjoying the live stream tonight. So with that, all right, go lay down, Bruno. So with that, we had 56 people this last week, and out of the 4 weeks, I said from the start, if you participated every single week, you were going to get put into a drawing for a case of the winning variety, which is Snapdragon, and some merch along with that. So it seemed like a lot of people missed participating in the first week. And then there was quite a few people who missed the third week as well. So I think I'm going to structure it a little bit different next year, where each week you'll get a name into the drawing. So if you participate every 4 weeks, or once of the 4 weeks, you'll have 4 chances at winning the drawing, compared to if you only participated 1 week, you'd have 1 chance to win. So we had about 80 different people come through the whole March bracket from the top, and there was 27 people who participated every single week from the start. So I want to just thank everyone for their participation, whether you voted once or voted 4 times. And it was really fun to see kind of how people chose the varieties. Some of the matchups, I'll be honest, I didn't think were going to turn out the way they did, especially this last championship one. Honeycrisp, I thought for sure was going to blow the water out of any single variety that we had on the chart. So I just want to do a restructure, or kind of a recap of how the bracket went. And for anyone who's just coming on, Snapdragon was the championship, and Snapdragon started all the way back in the beginning with new variety Rosalie, which is not very popular. You might find it at a farmer's market or something like that. It's a sister apple to Evercrisp. So Snapdragon came up on top, and then it went against a very well-known variety, Pink Lady. Again, Snapdragon won against Pink Lady, and then it came down to the famous Gala, the popular Gala, which everyone knows so well, and last week. The results, it blew Gale out of the water. And then again, Snapdragon won this week 32-24. So I'm just going to take a minute to look through the chat box here before we go on to the last part of this evening. So if you got any questions, now's a good time. Liz is sad about Evercrisp, but happy to see Snapdragon beat out Honeycrisp. I agree. And we're definitely going to be doing this next year. So, you know, that initial drawing is going to change up a lot of things on how things are going to turn out in the end. Some of these matchups from the beginning were right next to an easy variety to beat, I would say. And like, for example, the Evercrisp, it got put back to the Honeycrisp, the last bracket, and you know, it's a tough one. I'd be curious to see what the vote would have been if it was Snapdragon against Evercrisp. So over here on the Instagram, need to do more tastings. Barn Blooms deliver. Perfect. So for people still on, we had 27 people participate, and I'm going to do, I made a spreadsheet of everyone's name and their number. So I'm going to just do a quick spin the wheel number. And it's 18. So 18 is Austin Smith. So Austin Smith, you're the winner of the Snapdragon case of apples. And then some other stuff I'm going to send along is some Apple Boy WNY stickers, which Carrie made up for me, which I really appreciate all this for the YouTube channel she's been helping me with. And then some shirts here with the big logo on the back. So Austin Smith, I'll get a hold of you if you're not watching live tonight. But I have a case of Snapdragon apples for you, a shirt, and some stickers. So that's kind of all I have tonight. I encourage everyone who, I wanted to do this on YouTube Live, but it didn't work out with the amount of subscribers I have on there. But keep in mind, we have that channel going to see some things we're doing around the farm, especially the last video we just put out on planting some spring orchard last Tuesday. So over the winter we kind of had more excavating videos on there, but I hope to get more apple related YouTube videos out as what we're doing in the field throughout the summer. So you can kind of see some of the steps behind, you know, how are we growing these Snapdragon apples? What are we doing different to the Snapdragon variety as we are, say, the Macintosh variety, and things like that. So with that, I don't have anything else left. If anyone has any questions, but again, I appreciate the support through all this. It was fun. Again, it was Carrie's idea to do all this, put this together, so I really appreciate that. She's the brains behind everything, and I'm just going through with it. And yeah, thanks for participating, Mike. Appreciate that. And if you guys got any ideas along the way, again, with the channel, stuff you want to see on YouTube, or different contests, we don't have to wait till next March to do something different. Some people said, you know, a hard cider taste test. I think that's really cool. Just a cider taste test in general. Apple cider is a lot different compared to if someone's making it compared to another person down the road. So with that, I think I'm going to sign off. Looks like we got some cold weather coming the end of the week, and then spring will show up probably for good. Just a little update on the apples. They're starting to push a little bit of green tip, we call it. So that means the buds are coming out of dormancy and their leaves are starting to poke out, which is pretty early for this time of year. And hopefully we don't get too far along where then we could get in possible early bloom and then a frost event. So just keep that in mind on these nice days in March. It's nice to enjoy them, but it's a little bit of a double-edged sword being this early. But I think this cold the end of the week is going to slow things down, and we should line up to get back on schedule in April would be my guess. So again, thanks everyone, and hope you enjoyed this. Snapdragon came up on top, and I'll be sending a case of Snapdragon apples to Austin Smith along with some stickers and shirts. So, see you guys later. Thank you.